You know what? I hate to say it, and I don't even know how this is possible, but it just works. Here we have the box. The pair of shoes I really thought they would have done a whole special box for would have been this one, but they just kept it the same. It's the reverse mocha box where they have the sail and the brown Nike branding. I feel like even a switch to the colors, like inversed, could have looked pretty cool, but yeah, just the same old box. But popping the top and getting into today's pair of sneakers, guys. Whew. It's the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Velvet Brown. Also in the box, you get extra laces, 2 extra pairs along with the ones that are included. So you've got a pink and then a darker brown, which matches the shoe just a little bit more. And then of course, on the sneakers themselves, you've got a slightly lighter brown, which I actually think nicely contrasts the rest of the darker brown, which is on the sneaker. But here we have the 9th Travis Scott Jordan 1, the 9th Travis Scott Jordan 1. And of course, this is most likely not going to be the last. I mean, a lot of the speculated ones that were supposed to drop next year did get cancelled, but we do know of at least one more that's supposed to come next year, and that is the Fragment collaboration, which is going to be pretty massive. And I guess it would kind of make sense wrapping it up at number 10, but the way that these things sell out and just everybody wants them, I wouldn't be surprised if we never see the end of the Travis Scott Jordan 1 low. Now, this happens to be one of the more surprising pairs because going into this review, I didn't have the highest expectations of actually liking these. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same opinions. However, I wouldn't be surprised if you change your minds after this video. Either way, before getting into all of that, let's go over the release details so you know how you can get your hands on the final Travis Scott Jordan for 2024. So the release date for these is December the 21st, right before Christmas, so it would make a great Christmas present, although I feel like if you get these on the Nike Sneakers app, you're keeping them. You're not giving them away. Now, honestly, I've tried in the past to talk about stock numbers and like how limited are these going to be, but I'm not even going to bother this time because I think it's just safer to assume that these are going to be damn near impossible to get your hands on. Even when we spoke about some of the releases that were like the highest stocked ever, it didn't really feel like it made a difference. You still took an L. So expect all of the same drama that usually comes with a Travis Scott Jordan release, a lot of backdooring, a lot of backdoored pairs and stuff like that, a lot of L's on the Nike Sneakers app, and of course resellers doing everything in their power to get their hands on these before you do. Now, these are going to be releasing through the Nike Sneakers app and of course a bunch of other retailers, which you will be able to enter closer to the time. Nothing's loaded up as of right now. They retail for $150 for you guys out in the US and £145 here in the UK. And in terms of like how expensive these are going to be after the release, I have a couple interesting theories about that. In my opinion, I think these have a decent amount of similarities to the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low Black Phantom. Black Phantoms were one of the most unique Jordan 1s that we have ever seen. It had a super special box and an extra bandana in there, which is something that we've never seen on any other Jordan 1. Not only are both of these relatively monochromatic colorways, but they also share a lot of the same materials, which are also pretty unique. And also, when those Black Phantoms did drop in 2022, there was a lot of people also saying that that was the worst colorway that Travis Scott had done on a Jordan 1 Low that far. And obviously, we're getting the same conversation with these. Sure enough, the price of those things has just continued to skyrocket all the way until today, to now it's like one of the most expensive pairs. So I do think that these will have a similar effect. I mean, obviously we're on pair number 9 now, so the whole like wow factor of the Travis Scott Jordan 1 collaboration itself has definitely simmered down a little bit. And obviously Jordan 1s are certainly not as hyped as it used to be when those dropped, but these do have a lot of the same qualities. And in fact, this pair of shoes is a little bit easier to style than I originally thought it was going to be. I was going into this assuming it was going to be a challenge because it's an all-over monochromatic brown pair of shoes, which typically isn't the easiest. And yes, there are some outfits and some colors of like pants and different stuff like that that just didn't really work with these. But when you get the outfit right, I think these elevate the outfit a lot. Now, it's definitely subjective, but I do think that there is just something about the way that they put this all together that really does work. And I think because these are so dark of a brown, they work super well with a lot of darker outfits, mainly in the fall or the neutral color range. But I also kind of like the way that they contrast in color to like some of the lighter pants that I threw on. So yes, these may be a little bit more of a challenge than other Travis Scott Jordan 1s previously, but I do think it's going to be easier to style than you may have thought. Now, if you've never owned a pair of Jordan 1s, let's quickly go over sizing, which is pretty straightforward. Stay true to size. That's at least my recommendation. I always stay true to size with Jordan 1s. These fit exactly the same. Some people do go a half size down, so I'll kind of leave that up to you. And for materials, well, this is probably my favorite part about all of it, and I think what makes this specific pair so unique compared to the rest. Just like the Black Phantoms, they come in a nappy suede, which almost feels like it has some kind of wax effect to it. It looks and feels super unique. It kind of looks like a muddy, dark color. Now again, this is the exact same material that was on those Black Phantoms, except instead of the Black Phantoms, which had the suede on like the toe box or all of the base panels, this just has that exact same material spanning throughout the entire shoe. Now my favorite detail on these has to be the thick, premium tumbled leather Nike swoosh that they added to these. It elevates the shoe quite massively. Like just getting some of that shine even on camera, like some of that reflection off of that Nike swoosh just makes it look so much better in my opinion. I'm so thankful they did that. Something that's a little bit darker as well to contrast the rest, make it stand out a bit more. But yeah, it looks and feels great. It overall makes this pair of shoes look like the premium version of the Travis Scott Jordan collaboration. To me, this colorway kind of feels like the Utopia Jordan 1. I just feel like it really encapsulates that era of Travis Scott and his music. A lot of his merch has been similar colors to this. His website is a similar color as well. So I just feel like he's on the very dark brown wave right now. And this shoe makes a lot of sense. Even just as I'm standing here, I'm smelling this leather smell come off of this pair of shoes. It's such an upgrade to a standard pair of Jordan 1s. Now, obviously this shoe being so monochromatic, I do think that the laces are going to be a big option to kind of spice things up. Even this one does look pretty clean. I like how it separates it just a little bit. They kind of look like coffee dyed laces. I think the pink laces are going to be something that a lot of people opt for. I think it just brightens these things up a little bit. You could try throw in some sail laces as well. I haven't just yet, but I might try that out. And of course, like every other Travis Scott sneaker, you got a bunch of branding all over here and hidden logos and text, but obviously on these, it's a lot more subtle. You got the Travis logo embroidered into the heel, the Cactus Jack patch on the tongue, the very hard to see Cactus Jack text right on the inside of the shoe, and then also the insoles are also plastered with Travis Scott's name. But I think overall, regardless of whether you think this is the worst Travis Scott Jordan 1 colorway or not, we have started to see a lot more people vocalize that they just think Travis Scott and Jordan Brand are just doing too many Jordan 1s right now. I mean, there was a time when collaborations were super special. An artist or an athlete or a brand would get maybe 1-2 different colorways of a sneaker. But Travis Scott is obviously different. He now has 34 different ones just with Jordan Brand and Nike. That's obviously if you include those, the Utopia Air Force Ones, which some people don't. So I guess the bigger question is like, is this getting too much now? Some will obviously argue that it takes away some of that specialness from the Jordan 1 Travis Scott collaboration like it used to be, and kind of brings this whole thing down to like when Yeezy was doing a bunch of different 350s, like every single week there were just slightly different shades of color. And while I could definitely see where people are coming from, it's still incredibly hard to buy a pair of these. Like yes, Travis Scott and Jordan and Nike have done a ton of different sneaker collaborations, but to this day, I have never been able to buy a single one for retail. Even those goddamn basic Utopia Air Force Ones I had to pay resale for. So for most people, they're looking towards the aftermarket when they're shopping for Travis Scott sneakers, and it's not financially viable to go and buy every single pair. So you would just scoop up one, maybe two of your favorite colorways, and when you have more options to choose from, they are pretty happy about that. And obviously, the more they release, the more the prices go down. So there's a lot of people hoping that they just continue pumping these things out. But yeah, I do think for Travis Scott and Jordan Brand, 2025 is going to be a lot more focused on his two new signature sneakers, both with Jordan and Nike, with the Jumpman Jacks and the Trail Spiridon shoes, whatever we're calling those. So the question is, should Jordan Brand continue to pump out the Jordan 1s, or should they just put them on ice, stop dropping them? Let me know if you're going to be going for these down in the comments. Oh, and real quick, by the way, you see that pair of Black Cement 3 sitting in the background? Yeah, I'm giving those away. So if you want to enter that giveaway, which is going on right now, all you have to do is just have a little look at the link in the description, and I'll explain everything over there. And to check out another video, click that one right over there.